South Africa. There was no land reform in terms of the financial institution. So here's the good one. The ANC agreed to reduce the corporate taxes from 48% to 29%. If that is not classic neoliberalism, I don't know what is. In addition to that, the finance minister under the apartheid government was allowed to keep his post. And in addition to that, the companies, the top level, the largest companies and corporations were allowed to move their financial headquarters from South Africa to London. The South African apartheid government remained in charge of the military and to a large extent the police. So there was very little transformation, real transformation of economic and political power and institutional reform and power in the hands of Black South Africans. So today, what has spawned from this deal with the devil is that of a incredible wealthy oligarch that includes the like of current President Cyril Ramaphosa, who is not a millionaire, but who is a billionaire. And remember, it was Cyril Ramaphosa who owned part of the platinum mine in which the South African mine workers went on strike in 1992, I believe, and they were shot. At 80 South African mine workers were shot by the police. And as it turned out, Cyril Ramaphosa was in fact had a vested interest in the mine, and he is now the president of South Africa. There's a lot of talk about Jacob Zuma and the corruption surrounding him, which was why he was ousted out of office. But Cyril Ramaphosa is no better. He is even worse. And the New York Times did a series of articles on Ramaphosa's relationship with the Gupta family, and which this corruption entails deals with this family on government contracts, and they had to flee the country once this was revealed. So we can see that things have not changed for the majority of Black South Africans who live in squalor. Now, this is not to say that, in fact, the ANC did not build millions of housing, running water and stuff like that, but it was woefully inadequate for the millions of people, Black South Africans, who were and are and continue to be in need. That's why we have seen the South African students who are in the forefront of resistance. These were the South African students who booed Barack Obama when he was in Pretoria. And we also have NUSA and the leader of that company, the metal workers large union, who are talking and have realized that the road forward in South Africa is not one of neoliberal capitalism, but in fact socialism. Okay. And I would urge everyone to see the film Winnie, so you can get a real sense of the behind the scene machinations from the South African government, their influence over Mandela, and it really is an eye-opener.
Yes, the National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa, that is NUMSA. That's what, when you mentioned yes. NUMSA, it refers to the National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa.
Yes.
And that union, Nellie Bailey, seems to be the great hope of working people. Not that union alone, of course, but because it is such a powerful union, and as you mentioned, their members, many of them were slaughtered by the present president of South Africa. They have formed that union. The Metal Workers Union has formed a revolutionary nationwide party called the Socialist Revolutionary Party.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
And what is your view of that party?
Right. But well, my view of that party is that is the hope and future of South Africa. And remember, Noosa and Irving Jim, who leads that union, in fact, have left the ANC, as has a number of people who have defected from the ANC party, including youth leaders, because it's very clear that they represent an oligarchical class of elite that have no interest in the poor and the working class. And unfortunately,
Nelly,
what we have seen in South Africa is a rise in xenophobia because the working class has taken its frustration out on Southeast Asians
Nelly,
and
as we
foreign-born Africans
Nelly,
of the country.
as we speak about this militancy, currently it just came over the news wires that the South African court had approved of $353 million class action settlement with the miners. Now, in regarding to Mandela's legacy, what do you think if Mandela was around today? What do you think his reaction would be after these miners went to protests? So many of them died, blood was spilled, and eventually had to take to the courts, which he was a peacemaker, a proponent of peace. What would you think he would say to this settlement that was announced yesterday?
And Nelly, we only have 1 more minute left, please. Okay.
Well, first of all, very quickly, 80 miners lost their lives, and it was their wives who carried on the settlement. I think, as most South Africans, they were shocked, and the police, the black police in South Africa, justified their action. I think, in hindsight, and that is how one can look at it, in hindsight, I think that Mandela would be appalled. But I don't understand, and he said at the time, in 1994, that he talked to a number of world leaders, including Castro. He spoke to the president of China, and that they felt that the neoliberalism and the market system was the only way to go forward. But clearly that was a mistake, and clearly it seems to me, even with his close relationship with Fidel Castro, he did not understand fully the trappings of neoliberalism and indebtedness to the West and to the World Bank and to the apartheid government. I mean, can you imagine in assuming the debt of $25 billion? It means that you're paying for the pension of those white South Africans who kept the oppression and the apartheid government going. I mean, who would do that?
Okay, Nelly Bailey, we thank you so much for this brilliant presentation and reminding us of the true legacy. Many things very good and some things that are not too good, right? But we don't want to have a distorted version of history. We like to talk reality here on La Voz Latina. So Nelly Bailey, again, thank you so much. This conversation has not ended. We're going to have to return to these points in the near future. Thank you so much again, okay, on behalf of La Voz Latina.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So y'all heard it, right? South Africa is still under apartheid, financially, materially, and emotionally.